Hello, welcome to Global Lives. Every month, we choose a topic of interest to global citizens and bring a specialist from our team to help us navigate through a specific program or to understand more about the work that we do. So, this week, we will talk to our real estate specialist about the Algarve, a hot topic for property investors. So joining me today are João Barros and Henrique RK from our real estate division, Gold Crest buyer's agent. Unfortunately, Rafael Senna was not able to join us today, but leaves us in the most competent hands of João and Henrique. So just to guide you through this live, it should take no longer than 35 minutes, 40. And it includes a Q&A session at the end. If you're not able to stay all the way to the end, do not worry. Start jotting down your questions here. We will aim to answer all your questions. But if we don't do during the live, also don't worry. We will keep answering it once it is saved in our YouTube page. We also live from Facebook and via chat. So, and then finally, if you haven't given us a like, please do that. So
Henrique.
Hello.
Hello.
It seems Gisane
We
for
are
some
for
reason
phone. Yes.
log off or lost connection. Let's wait.
Yes, let's wait.
For her to see what's happening. Maybe I will give her a call. Just give me a second to see what's
Yes,
happening.
for sure.
Oh, I think she's coming back.
There.
Okay, there she is.
Hello again, Gisane. Welcome back. It's probably a connection problem.
I'm back, guys.
There we go.
Sorry I left you here alone. I don't know what happened. Yeah, issues with the internet technicalities. I'm really sorry. But yeah, so I need to install a couple of minutes from your live. Thank you. So I just want to address everyone. I'm experiencing some problems now. There are a couple of delays, so it might sound a bit strange. I'm talking, and then Henrique is talking, and then Joan as well. So I'm going to try to sort out the problem. Meanwhile, I will pass it on to Henrique and João now, so they can start talking whilst I sort out my problems here with the connections. So we are here to talk about the Algarve, right? The Algarve is one of
Looks like
we lost Gisane again. We can talk about the Algarve, Henrique.
Yeah, of course.
That's why we were invited anyway. So, and our viewers, they are expecting us to share a little of our expertise, and we have been very frequently, me and Henrique, for the past years in the south. We have both lived in the Algarve, and it's one of our favorite areas. So if Gisane cannot join us, we will speak about the Algarve.
Yeah, she's back. It looks like now she has a good connection. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I really don't know what happened there. So what did I miss? What did you talk about whilst I was away?
We were saying that if you cannot join us, we will present the Algarve anyway, because that's why we are here for today. And
so you guys don't need me. I'll leave. Great, so I'm back. So let me do some work here. So yeah. So we guys will talk about the Algarve now if the internet lets me carry on with my job. So just to cut it short, João and Henrique are specialists, know a lot about the region. So I'd like to hear from João. If you could give me an overview about the region and why is it such a hot topic for property investors?
Well, the Algarve has been, it's not a recent factor that all expats want to move to the Algarve. It has always been the place of choice both for northern Europeans who are seeking better weather and a very good lifestyle in Portugal. And the Algarve has a wide variety of regions and cities that are very rich in both culture, proximity to the beach, good lifestyle, and sports. It's very famous for tennis and golf, of course, but many ocean sports as well. You have a west coast, which is a little more windy, and so sailors love that area, and Lagos and Sagres, for example. And you have the east coast with a little warmer waters that, well, everyone, it gets really full in the summer. But expats have been moving to Portugal and to the Algarve for a long time. And if you can verify that also from the recent numbers that indicate that it's the area of Portugal with the highest percentage of expat community living per habitant. So in some regions, it even reaches 40% expats.
Oh, wow.
So that's really good.
That's a big number. And have you been to the Algarve recently, João? Because you look very tanned.
Yes. This is Algarve fault, actually. My this year, due to the golden visa changes, also maybe I have been traveling to the Algarve every week almost, and I spent my holidays there as well already. I had an early holiday, and so we've been driving a lot through the region, me and Enrique, for the past months.
Yeah. No, that's great. Lots happening there.
It looks beautiful now.
And also, because my first trip to Algarve was about 15 years ago, and but I always went, to the areas that were very kind of popular at that time, Faro, Albufeira and stuff. But it's good to see like little pockets, little gems of the Algarve up and coming with their own culture, their own offering. You can have nature wonders there, which goes from parks to beach, and yeah, so that's everything there, and I find it very interesting for a particularly small area. So let's move on. I'd like to ask Enrique if there's something about the Algarve that makes it a very good investment for real estate, and I'd like to understand why. Why is it such a hot ticket among Europeans?
Yeah, of course. First of all, thank you for having me, Gisani. Hello, everyone. And coming back to your question, well, there are many things, of course, that the investors like in an area like Algarve. And of course, when you're an investor, you look mainly on the investment side. You look for high yields and high occupancy rates, and of course, if you look at the numbers, Algarve it exceeds in the numbers. So that's one of the first reasons that investors like Algarve. But of course, there are many more things that's why we have the high yields. For example, like João said, you have the many golf courses in the Algarve. If I'm not wrong, I think there are around 30 golf courses, and all of them are world class. So this is one of the main reasons that you have a really high occupancy rate, because you have in the summer, which is the high season of the Algarve, everything is booked. Algarve is 100% booked. And before and after that, you have the golf season, because in the summer it's too hot to golf. So people come after the summer and before the summer. So that gives a higher return to the investors. So that's very good. And of course, you have everything that Algarve have to offer, like the nightlife, all the commerce. You can find everything in the Algarve, even though it's very small, and also very different kind of tourisms within the Algarve. Each city could attend a different type of tourism, so that's also very good. And also, one of the other reasons that I didn't talk about yet is non-habitual residence tax regime, which is the people need to stay to get this tax regime. They need to stay for 6 months in the Algarve, and normally the northern people of Europe, Denmark, Switzerland, French, Germans, they come here for 6 months on the winter, which is they're basically, if you go to Germany, our winter is like sometimes their summer. So they come here and have fun on the sunlight, it's pure sunlight on Algarve. That's also another really good reason to invest here, the climate. So people come here and rent the houses for 6 months on the winter. So then you have your house or your investment the whole year occupied. You do the summer and the golf season, which is around 6 months, give or take, and then you rent it to the NHR, which is the non-habitual residency clients that come. So yeah, that's like a perfect investment to have.
So it seems like it's a combination of factors.
Exactly.
It's not only about the weather that is so good and so how do you call that? It's good throughout the year, not only summer, but there is fiscal benefits. There are fiscal benefits, and there's also a variety of investments that commercially seems to be very viable in that particular region. So yeah, thank you very much for clarifying that. Now I'm going to ask my last question. Oh, before that, we had, as you know, if you joined the live right now, we had some glitches. So basically, I disappeared for a while, and then I came back, and then there was some glitches again. But now it seems the internet seems steady. But I don't know if you caught me saying that you can jot down your questions now, and those questions will be answered. We will aim to answer them during the Q&A. And also, please give us like and share, and it will help this video circulate and help more people understand more about the Algarve if they're already doing that research to make the move. So now back to my questions about the Algarve, so we'll get a good understanding first before I open the Q&A session. So I'm going to ask João now. Investors interested in the Portugal Golden Visa, where they can invest in property in Algarve?
So the Algarve has become very desirable this year, also because of the Golden Visa. It has been for the past 30 years or 40, as I said, for expats. Also the boom after 2011-12 with the NHR regime that Enrique said and talked about. It has brought many Northern Europeans here. And now with the recent Golden Visa changes, what happened was that only coastal areas that still qualify for residential properties in continental Portugal are located in the Algarve. And they are beautiful areas, the east and the west. So for a residential property, you can come with us and we will show you a lot of offers good deals in these areas. If your plan is more of the income type and the rental yields that you can get out of a property, you have many options, because the Algarve has such an old tradition of touristic properties. It has now a huge offer of touristic licensed properties for our golden visa clients, and this is happening because the law did not exclude commercial and serviced properties from qualifying to the golden visa, and therefore the Algarve is probably, I can say, this is the place with higher offer of these properties. So the rental yields on these properties are very attractive. They are usually in sea view properties, right in front of walking distance to the beach, or in a golf resort. And so our clients will maximize their rentals if they buy one of these properties, because it's in a already well-established touristic development. And this is very good for investors, because you always have that feeling of when you invest in a residential apartment, like, how many weeks is it going to be rented out? Am I really going to get income out of this? And what we can show clients this year is, through the numbers of the past years, that these properties have been rented out very steadily for the last 10 years. It had a little break with the pandemic, but they are really profitable properties to invest in. And also some with guaranteed income, so you can survive through pandemics very happily.
Oh, that's
So
great. That's great.
It's very good.
I do. So I have another question before we go on to the Q&A, and I don't think we explained, because Gold Crest is a real estate division of Global Citizen Solutions, but it would be good for our viewers to understand what you guys do, and how you operate, and what is it that Gold Crest buyers agents do for your clients?
It's for Enrique, or
you choose.
You can answer.
Yeah, that's.
Oh.
I can answer that. Yeah, that's okay with me. Well, the Golden Crest division, it works as a buyer's agency. So we work with all the market. So all the properties that you see online on websites, like, for example, if you look here, the most popular websites in Portugal are Idealista, Casa Sapo, Imóvel Virtual. There are some of the websites, and we can go through all the market, and we also have some special softwares that lets us find other properties, and of course we know all the best listing agents out there, so we have access to those those properties that are offline, that don't get to the websites. So basically, yeah, we can give you access to the whole market, and based on each client, on what each client wants, we can make a property selection, what would best suit them, and work with the clients. Sometimes they like to send us links and us giving us our feedback on those properties, and trying to find more information about those properties, because we don't hear the information about the properties is not widely available, like in countries like the United States or UK. So we dig more info about those properties, and until we find the property, and for example, now in the pandemic situation, on the 2 years before, many of our clients even bought properties remotely, and we do what we could to make them to make all the process the most safe that they could. showing them video calls, putting the drone up and showing them the properties and the location, and explain and educating the clients on locations and pretty much everything that they need to know to buy a property here in Portugal. It's like a 360 view, and having someone here on the ground to help them with the property knowledge. Yeah.
So in other words, you work for the client. So instead of as a normal estate agent pushing properties from here and there from all over, you work for clients. You understand what the client's needs, the lifestyle, and everything. And then, as the eyes of the client, you will go and find them this property. The advantage is that you have the connections and you have the tools and platforms, and also the personable approach, which is, I think, very important when people buy from another country. João, do you have anything to add before I start opening the Q&A?
Well, before opening the Q&A, I would just like to add, and thank Henrique, it was a very wide explanation, a very good one. And of course, everyone knows that it's very different to have a buyer agent on your side in every country in the world. And specifically for these golden visa properties, I would say we really go and do our best job possible to find a property that fits the client's needs, qualifies, and has all the comforts that person wants, because we understand where the client wants to be, and Portugal is so wide that 30 kilometers to the side or to another one makes a very big difference. And our clients have been very happy with the choices they've made. That's what we like about our job.
Excellent. Good. I think that was very good, guys. Thank you very much. That was a fantastic introduction. Now, let's move on. We've got some questions here. Our team is answering. Some here pretty much related to visa. So we have our lawyer here answering. So let's go to the first question here, which I found very interesting. And it encompasses a lot of questions. Where is the best place to invest in real estate in Portugal? So I think this person wants to know beyond Algarve, but feel free to stick to the theme of the live. João, do you want to answer that?
Well, that depends a lot. Of course, Portugal now has many offers. The market is changing a lot, and I'm not going to consider only golden visa clients, but the wide variety of clients that are moving into Portugal now. So my suggestion is always to discuss with us which areas you are having the highest capital increase, and we are watching some of the most areas closer to Lisbon or closer to bigger towns in the Algarve that are getting capital increases in the order of 30%. And these are, in my perspective and our team's perspective, it's a great timing to buy now in these areas, and in 5 years sell it back and get a lot of money out of the sale. So if you discuss with us, you have plenty of options in that.
Good. Thank you. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Is there a special undiscovered town that is good for investment in the Algarve? And that also, I think, encompasses another question. Someone asked if an apartment in a hotel can be a good investment in Albufeira. But let's keep this one here. Is there a special undiscovered town that is good for investment in Algarve? And Henrique, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, of course, Josane. So yes, of course, there are many people normally just look for the most famous ones like Albufeira, Tavira, Lagos. Those are the big the big the biggest towns on Portimão in Algarve, and normally people go straight to them. But there are some towns that they, like João said, they are very near, and they are some of them on the coastlines, and you can even walk to the beach, and they still cheap compared to places like Lagos. So just to give you some examples, because there are many towns that are good, and as I told you before, it really depends on the profile of the client and budget. But if you go to places like Salema, Imbudens, or in Algesur, you go to Carrapateira. Those are towns that are on the seashore, and some properties even have sea views, and they're still cheap compared to the biggest towns on the Algarve. So yeah, I think those two will be good choices, but yeah, there are many more, and it will depend on the profile of each investor.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it all depends on what you want and what you want to get from your investment. And then now, João, I think I'll drop that question on you. What happens if I buy a property with the purpose of renting via Airbnb after Portugal's recent Airbnb legal changes?
Well, that question has been very fashionable in these days, and just to clarify, there hasn't been a legal change. The law hasn't changed yet. It was a court decision that was aiming to protect residential owners in buildings where you have horizontal property, meaning that you have to have a good relation between neighbors and don't make. We were getting a lot of complaints about Airbnbs in city centers, and so a court decision came out saying that the entire condominium should agree on protecting more residential owners. So what I can say from a positive perspective is that the types of properties that our clients are finding these days are touristic licensed properties. This means that it's the perfect timing. I will repeat this again, because when the common, when everyone finds out that cities all over Europe, city centers are getting restrictions or Airbnb, and that these touristic properties are an oasis they are protected from this law, they offer a wider guarantee to property owners, because if your purpose is to rent them out, you will find that first of all, the law can change all at once, because the effective use of that property is to be rented out. And then they are optimized to be rented out through the years. So people and old customers already know that there's a lovely hotel or resort in that area. And so you don't have so much the risk of having an Airbnb and then trying to get your reputation for your Airbnb. So you have a very good option to go for touristic properties if that is your purpose.
Yeah, that's reassuring. Thank you. I've got another. We don't have much time now, but we've got a question here, which I think you guys will be good for you to answer. Could you say if we want to buy apartment in a hotel, T0 or T1, can be a good investment in Albufeira? Definitely.
Definitely. I wouldn't. That city has the most concentration of tourists during the summer, for example. So
how far is it from Faro city airport? Sorry.
Half an hour.
Half an hour.
Yeah, same question. Same answer.
Same
answer.
Yeah.
It's very close, and Albufeira should be noted. Well, I lived very close to I started at the city center and then moved a little out.
Mm-hmm.
So Albufeira has a very good mix. It has a touristic center where most touristic developments are that gets really crowded, and it has a really high tourist demand for that area in the summer. And then you have beautiful, also with more natural landscape in both the east side and the west side of Albufeira. You have Praia da Galé area that is beautiful, and Olhos de Água area that is also very beautiful.
Okay. No, excellent. Thank you very much. So, just to let you know, for our viewers here, I'm leaving all the questions related to legal or visa applications for our law team. They are online now. They're answering you, and then I'm just milking the expertise of real estate from these guys to answer questions related to real estate. Hang on, there is one more question here, which I think was a very good answer. Are there many or few residential properties in Algarve that qualify as rehabilitation, not rehab, rehabilitation projects? Would you say many or few?
So let me see if I understood the question. When you mean rehabilitation project, so probably you're looking for the golden visa, and they are lots of properties that qualify for rehabilitation projects. Although right now we wouldn't recommend so much to going for a rehabilitation project yourself, doing it alone. Because now in the whole world, this is not just in Portugal, construction is very hard, and it's very hard to find people,
Definitely.
constructors,
Yeah.
and materials. But on the good side, they are rehabilitation projects that are from developers that you can buy, and they do all it's like a full package, and they sell a turnkey to you, and then you give all the risk to them, and they know the Portuguese market. They are used to doing construction in Portugal, so the risk is pretty much none. Of course, we always do a due diligence process on each property to check out that everything is within the law, and the construction it's the constructor and the developer are people that you can trust. So we do all this due diligence to minimize all kind of risk. But yeah, going back to your questions, there are some, but right now, to be honest, there is a little bit of a shortage on properties in these projects in Algarve. Although, yeah, there are some good ones.
Okay. And then, but you can always discuss. They can get in touch with the team, and speak to you and João to understand more what their options are. So now we're reaching the end, but I'm trying to get our production team to help us here, because we're having lots of comments asking, can you put those town names in the chat for correct spelling? Because I'm sure a lot of you are researching where to get your property, or where to move to the Algarve. So I'm asking here our production team to type down, please. And Henrique and João, help me here. Ask them to type down Salema, Tavira, Algesur, Sagres, Vila do Bispo. Is there any other town that I have missed here?
I think I said Carrapateira too.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. There you go, Carrapateira.
You mentioned Budens.
I mentioned Budens too, yeah.
Okay.
Salema in Budens.
How do you spell that? Is it like Budens?
Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, and that's it. All right. Thank you very much. Do you have any last words? Do you want to share with our viewers here?
Well, get in touch with us because it's the right timing. And also, as Henrik mentioned, there is a shortage of projects. Sometimes there is a jam that comes on our way because there were really good projects, but those were sold out very fast. And sometimes, by some chance, one reservation fails, and we have direct access to most developers, and so we know of some projects that haven't been launched yet to the public, and these special deals that sometimes appear. Also, there will be a lot of surprises in the Algarve in the next years. There's a lot of developments coming up, and we will be glad to show you the numbers and show you the amazing sceneries that you can get in the Algarve.
Excellent. Amazing. Well, it was really, really good having you here, and João and Henrique. I'm really sorry about the glitches earlier. Yeah, but that's the beauty of technology. And to all of you who joined us today, I hope you got your questions answered. And if not, feel free to get in touch with us. And next month we will have another Global Live. And yeah, thanks for sticking around. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Yeah, thank you.